Hi, I'm here again to make another bedtime story video for you guys. I hope you've enjoyed all the previous stories I've been reading so far. Today, I'll be reading a story called Mr. Tickle, and it's written by Roger Hargraves, and I think it's going to be a really nice story because the picture on the front looks nice. Okay, so I'm going to start reading now. Hope you enjoy the story. Okay, let's start reading. Wow. It was a warm, sunny morning. In his small house at the other side of the wood, Mr. Tickle was asleep. He didn't know that there was such a thing as a tickle, did he? Did you know? I didn't. Well, there is. Tickles are small and round, and they have arms that stretch and stretch and stretch. Extraordinary long arms. Extraordinary, that's a big word. Do I know what it means? I think I do. Right. Mr. Tickle was fast asleep. He was having a dream. It must have been a very funny dream because it made him laugh out loud. That woke him up. Imagine waking up from laughing out loud from a good dream. That would be nice. He sat up in bed, stretched his extraordinary long arms, and yawned an enormous yawn. Mr. Tickle felt hungry. So, do you know what he did? I don't. Let's see what he did. He reached out one of his extraordinary long arms, opened the bedroom door, reached down the stairs, opened the kitchen door, reached into the kitchen cupboard, opened the biscuit tin, took out the biscuit, brought it back upstairs, in through the bedroom door, and back to Mr. Tickle in bed. As you can see, it's very useful indeed having arms as long as Mr. Tickle's. Mr. Tickle munched his biscuit. He looked out of the window. Today looks very much like a tickling day, he thought to himself. So that's Mr. Tickle's arm taking out a biscuit from the biscuit tin while Mr. Tickle is still in bed. How cool is that? So later that morning, after Mr. Tickle had made his bed and cooked his breakfast, he set off through the wood. As he walked along, he kept his eyes very wide open, looking for somebody to tickle. Looking for anybody to tickle. That's Mr. Tickle with his really long arms, waiting and looking for anybody to tickle. Eventually, Mr. Tickle came to school. There was nobody about, so reaching up his extraordinary long arms to a high window ledge, Mr. Tickle pulled himself up and peeped in through the open window. That's his arm. He's about to peep in through the open window of the school. Inside, he could see a classroom. There were children sitting at their desks and a teacher waiting on the blackboard. So that's the teacher waiting to teach the children. Mr. Tickle waited a minute and then reached in through the window. Mr. Tickle's extraordinary long arm went right up to the teacher, paused, and then tickled. The teacher jumped in the air and turned round very quickly to see who there was. But there was nobody there. Oh, that's creepy. So that's Mr. Tickle standing somewhere, and his long arm has gone through the window to tickle the teacher. Mr. Tickle grinned a mischievous grin. He waited another minute and then tickled the teacher again. This time, he kept on tickling until soon the teacher was laughing out loud and saying, "Stop it, stop it, stop it," over and over again. All the children were laughing too at such a funny sight. There was a terrible pandemonium. That's a big word. Eventually, Mr. Tickle thought that he had had enough fun, so he gave the teacher one more tickle for luck, and then very quietly brought his arm back through the open window. Chuckling to himself, he jumped down from the window, leaving the poor teacher to explain what it was all about, which of course he couldn't. Then Mr. Tickle went to town. And what a day Mr. Tickle had. He tickled the policeman on traffic duty at the crossroads in the middle of town. He caused an enormous traffic jam. Oh no. No, that's not a good one. He tickled the greengrocer just as he was peeling apples neatly in his shop window. The greengrocer fell over backwards and the apples rolled all over the shop. So that's the greengrocer's legs, and those are the apples rolling all over the shop. At the railway station, the guard was about to wave his flag for the train to leave. As he lifted his arm in the air, Mr. Tickle tickled him, and every time he tried to wave his flag, Mr. Tickle tickled him until the train was 10 minutes late leaving the station, and all the passengers were furious. Oh, that's Mr. Tickle's arm tickling the train right? That day, Mr. Tickle tickled everybody. He tickled the doctor. Wow. He tickled the butcher. He even tickled old Mr. Stamp, the postman, who dropped all his letters into a puddle. Aww. And then Mr. Tickle went home. Sitting in his armchair in his small house at the other side of the wood, he laughed, and every time he thought about all the people he had tickled. Look at him sitting and feeling cool about himself after tickling so many people. So, if you are in any way ticklish, beware of Mr. Tickle and those extraordinary long arms of his. Just think, perhaps he's somewhere about at this very moment while you're reading this book with his arm coming to tickle. Oh, I hope he doesn't tickle me while I'm making this video. Perhaps that extraordinary long arm of his is already creeping up at the door of this room. Oh, I hope not. Perhaps it's opening the door now and coming into the room. Perhaps because you know what is happening, you will be well and truly tickled. Okay, so that's the end of Mr. Tickle. I hope you had a nice time listening to this story, and don't forget to leave your comments and have a very, very, very lovely rest of the night. Okay then, bye.